Hey, 10th grade, what's up? It's Miss Mac. I'm here with your final video notes of the year. Get excited. It's our last real week of school. Get ready for summer. All right, I'm sharing my screen with you. And let me get back to the top. Here we go. All right, so in addition to your podcast notes, I just have some reminders for you. So good luck on the AP exams. I think you have bio Monday and then AP World on Thursday. I'm sure you guys will crush it. Fourth quarter words of the week are extra credit if you didn't already see on Aries or Google Classroom. So if you did them, awesome, get that extra credit. And if not, you still have time to do it now. I graded your research papers and those grades are in on Aries. Generally, I think they raise people's grades and I'll talk about that later. And if you want to look at the comments, they're on turnitin.com on the rubric and on the essay itself. And if you just turned it in on Google Classroom, then I just put the rubric there. And you can still turn those in through the end of the school year. That's fine with me. I just probably won't give you any feedback if I don't have time. So if you would like feedback, get them in a little earlier. I haven't graded your informative podcast yet, but I'll get on those today and I'll add them to the website if you give me permission. And that is up. You should check it out if you have not done so already. It looks really awesome. And I'm not giving you a final in English. I'm not sure what the schedule will be next week. Remember, there's no school Monday. But if we have the typical final schedule where it's like 2 periods a day, then maybe I'll just schedule a Google Meet if you would like to come say goodbye to your classmates for the summer and to me. Cool. So here, I've had a lot of questions about grading. So just as a recap, here's what I am doing. So Pasadena Unified's grading policy is that nobody can fail for the semester. So even if you had an F third quarter, you will still at least get a D during distance learning. And I will not drop your grade for English below what your third quarter grade was. So right when we went into break around the 13th, you can check your grades for I think it's like the progress 2. It's not called quarter 3, which is confusing. So anyway, your grade will not drop below whatever it was before we went into distance learning. Keep in mind though that on Aries, I'm going to keep the zeros and the grades regardless of what they are. So if, let's say you had a B at the end of third quarter and you have an F now, 55%, you'll still see the 55% on Aries, but on your report card, I'll put the B from third quarter for the semester grade. So the reason for this is I just want to keep track of who turned things in and who didn't, just for my own records. And I know nothing negative. We have a lot of different reasons that people have turned in work or haven't turned in work. And honestly, most people have been pretty good about turning everything in. 8th graders are different. And to those of you who have been consistently submitting work during distance learning, thank you. And I think a lot of people have really raised their grades significantly doing things. So way to take advantage of that situation. Awesome. All right, just some quick research paper feedback. I would have done this in class, but we are not together. So generally they were pretty strong for the most part. Class averages have been between like an 85 and a 90. So a B to an A minus. I saw just like overall improvement with the MLA formatting and citations. My best compliment that I can give you is that I just read your essay all the way through and I didn't have to make any comments. And you may seem bummed out that I didn't leave any positive comments, but that's actually like kind of a compliment to you if I could just get through it and not have to say anything. That's fantastic. So a lot of you really got really smooth, fluent papers. I was really impressed with the evidence that you all chose, really credible, purposeful evidence. And you did a really great job balancing the amount of paraphrasing with the amount of quoting and like integrating those together. Excellent job. I loved the array of topics that I had. And some of you had kind of like a similar topic, but you focused it different ways, the scope. So they're really cool. Some of you were like very super hyper focused on a topic. And those were also just super interesting and detailed. Mastery of transition words and phrases, like organization all around, was a strength. Very easy to follow. And I think thesis statements were very clear. Where everything is in 30 years, or where is it going in 30 years? I was impressed. Nothing major. Honestly, the reason people probably didn't get an A or B is they just forgot like the words of the week, or they didn't do their block quote. And if you want to revise that and turn it back in, you're welcome to. All the notes are still on Google Classroom. So if you're like, what is a block quote? I didn't even know like we were supposed to have that. Go back to week 2 or whenever that was, and you can look at it and add it in and just turn it into me on Google Classroom and let me know that you're revising it and highlight whatever you changed. And I'll put that in here as well. What I would say were like the most common errors was just like an overall conversational tone, like essays that were too casual. This is a formal academic research paper. It's not argumentative. It's not a speech. So a lot of people use like I or me. A lot of people used you/your. And even we, our, and us, I think was like used a little too much. They, them, fine. But we want to try to avoid the first and second personal pronouns. So if you see that on your paper, I definitely made that note a lot. And the reason is, like I said, it's just like if you were giving a speech, totally fine. It's just a little persuasive, and that's not our goal for this one. And there were still some people who are struggling with the mastery of MLA formatting, the citations. Whatever is in your internal citation, those parentheses needs to match whatever comes first in your works cited page. And I read a lot of essays where whatever was in the internal citations just wasn't in the works cited page, or it was incorrect, or all the sources on the works cited page, like none of them were actually in the essay. And that's confusing because it's like, where did you get your information? And that essentially, I mean, it is plagiarism. I know you looked something up, obviously, but keep in mind that you want to make sure those connect. So otherwise, though, like I think they were pretty strong. I was impressed. You guys have definitely grown in this area. I think you get a lot of practice in other subjects as well. So good job. Okay, so now we're in our final week of podcasts, and I'm so excited to listen to the informative or like educational ones this week. So again, it can be 4 to 10 minutes in length. If it's longer, not the end of the world. I feel like argumentative is something that you guys are like the most adept at. You guys can all debate really well. So I'm sure this will go well for you. Again, it can still be your personal experience or knowledge you use, or it can be your research. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a factual debate, right? We're not writing a formal essay like I just said, right? This one, a podcast is totally the time where you can be more informal and more conversational. So the I, me, my is fine. The you, your, go for it. Go crazy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm losing it by the end of these videos. It's been a long month of May. All right, so it's due Tuesday, May 26th with your outline. So I decided to extend the deadline just because of all the AP tests, and it's a 3-day weekend anyway. So get it in by Tuesday and hopefully by the end of that week. Again, I'm not taking off points for late submissions, but please don't submit anything after Thursday, May 28th, because I just honestly will not have time to grade it before I have to turn in grades. I would if I could, but there has to be a final time. So anything from fourth quarter distance learning, feel free to turn it in until Thursday, May 28th. And again, I just won't give you feedback because I probably won't have time. I'm sorry. And regarding the podcast, like some of you may have difficulty doing 3, especially if you were a little behind or working on APs, like I totally get it. So my goal is for everyone to try and do at least 2 podcasts, because then it'll be like a series more than 1. If you can't do 3, it's okay. If you're behind and you haven't started, pick 2 that you want to do. Maybe you're not feeling the narrative one right now. Do an informative and argumentative. Do 2 argumentative. I think this experience is valuable. It's fun. But I don't want it to be like a super stressful end of the year thing that you're like crying through your podcast because you think I'll be upset with you if you don't get it done. So try your best. Even if it's just like, I want to word vomit my thoughts from the year and about distance learning, like you can just talk for 5 minutes into your phone or into your Chromebook and send it to me, and I'll give you some points. I've been grading those very fairly because I just appreciate the effort. You guys are doing a really good job. They're impressive. All right, so here's like a loose agenda for the week. Again, I know you guys are studying, do what you can do. So you can look over just like my basic notes for today, the AP exams that day for bio, submit your topic for the week. By Tuesday, I'm gonna extend that a day, and I have office hours that day. Wednesday, you can start listening to the sample podcast, start your researching, your outlining if you haven't done so already. You'll probably be studying for the AP World exam. I completely understand. I probably stayed up the entire night before my AP Euro exam sophomore year, so I cannot judge you. I only got a 3. It's okay. Got a 5 on the US history next year. All right, office hours Thursday. If you just want to check in, say hi, even if you're not working on anything. Friday, I would say start practicing, revising your podcast if you need to. Again, it's a 3-day weekend, but you can definitely like record over the weekend. What else will we be doing? We're on stay-at-home orders. And then submit by Tuesday with your outline. Let me know if you have any questions. Stop by office hours. Here are the model ones that are more of a debate. So these 7-minute opinions, there's even other ones I'm sure that you can listen to if these 2 don't interest you. And then the Carlmont High School ones are here. And here are just some ideas, and these are in the directions as well. You can like pose a question and debate different responses. You can like turn your research paper into like a persuasive podcast. So like someone did like smart home. It could be like, should we have like full-blown smart home technology? Or someone did, I'm thinking about like Sabrina, she did the farmer's fridge and talking about how that could be really helpful for like school lunch. So you could do a debate about that. There's tons and tons of potential issues in here. And then you already have your research done. Yay. Can definitely have a narrative element. Like if you want to tell a personal story to prove a point or use that like as your evidence to support your stance, that's great. And it can also, you could like debate some aspect of a personal story and then like kind of combine those two genres together. If you do use any outside sources, just include them in your outline, please. And if you're working with a partner or a group, like you can keep doing whatever you're doing, but some ideas like balance your speaking time. You could like each debate a side of an issue. That's a pretty straightforward way to do it. But I would say definitely make sure it's probably around 5 minutes or more. And then we're back to the week before. It's my face. So terrifying. I'm sorry. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions. And again, I'll post if there's anything going on for finals week. I'll let you know just as far as checking in. I'll be at Marshall campus on Friday, actually. So I'll post some stuff on my Instagram that day and get to clean up my classroom. So I can't think of anything I need to grab in there. Let me know if there's something you have in my classroom you need me to grab, and I will. You guys are the best. Hold on. Come here. Oh my goodness, she's so whiny here. Millie wants to say bye. She was sleeping on your essays again. I'm just at your favorite place to sleep. All right, that's enough. Good luck on your AP exam. You guys are awesome. Take care.